Using a survey to draw conclusions can be really confusing, and there's so many steps to take into consideration. So where do you start? The most important thing to consider is figuring out how to design a survey. There are structured questions and there are open-ended questions. For this survey, we focused on structured questions, which included fixed response and ranking questions. But what does that mean? Our first question asked respondents how likely they would be to buy an Apple laptop that had no USB port. We provided responses such as extremely likely, most likely, etc., all the way down to definitely not likely. Because of this, they were able to choose in a rank setting how likely they were to respond, and this controlled the way that they responded and controlled the way that we could perceive the results. This is a type of ranking question. When asking respondents if they owned an adapter for their Apple laptop, I provided yes, no, and not applicable as responses. This created a fixed response type of question and limited the amount of responses I received. Once we had learned about how to design a survey, we each looked over everybody else's questions anonymously and edited them for clarity or to specify what we meant. We then selected as a group which questions would be the most useful for our survey, and those are the questions we all sent out to individuals. We used SurveyMonkey to create our survey once we had decided on questions, and then used the survey link to send the survey out via social media, and used those responses to analyze our results and come up with conclusions. I was not particularly surprised by the results of this survey and found that respondents felt the same way that I had felt and most of the class had felt in response to Apple removing USB ports from Apple computers.